Okay, start. We're starting. The topic is an antivirus. The topic is that if you have an antivirus, you're actually putting more risk to your computer, and we're going to discuss that. And to start off, if you have a Windows computer, use Windows Defender only, which is free. It comes with Windows 10. If you're not on Windows 10, use something very, very basic. And I'll tell you what not to use. And I'll tell you that in a moment. If you're on a Mac, use nothing. Do not use AVG. If you're on Linux, use nothing. If you're on Android, use nothing. If you are on iOS, use nothing. What about HP? Did you not hear me again? Let me repeat. If you're on Windows 10, use Windows Defender. If you're not on Windows 10, I'll tell you later if you're on some other version of Windows. On any other platform, use nothing. On any other platform, use nothing. You'd think I had a virus attack. No, I didn't have a virus attack. Okay, so use nothing. Now, we're going to explain why. Boycott box, I have a video on YouTube. You can watch it. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe so you can learn about some of this, because I'm not going to be repeating things that are on the video. I'll just tell you to watch the video. I don't know what the sound is. Is it like some short on the mic? I'll watch and send friends to sub. Why is it free? Why is it free? Why is Windows Defender free? Go ask Microsoft. Why didn't they charge you money? Don't they charge you enough for Windows 10 that they have to charge you for an antivirus? So DHAMA wants to pay. DHAMA wants to pay for the antivirus. I'm saying don't zucking pay for the antivirus. Use the free one that comes with Windows. That's it. Forget it. That's it. You don't need to do anything. I don't know what you're talking about, John. I don't have any ringtone. I don't have anything. I really don't know what you're saying. So if there's any kind of tone that you're seeing, I don't really have anything to do with it. So if there's some sort of tone, then it's not for me. Yeah, I don't know what it is. How often is the tone, how often do you hear it? How often it comes in and out? How often? There's no indication here from my input side here of any tone. Is it on Periscope, or is it also on YouTube? Is there a tone on YouTube? Is there a tone on YouTube? Okay, I don't know. I don't know what it is. 10 seconds when it sounds. Okay, on Periscope. Okay, then is there any sound on YouTube? If somebody hears the sound on YouTube, let me know. I'm not clear. Yes, on YouTube. You heard it too. Okay. Is there a short on the equipment? I mean, there's no. If there's a sound, I should see. If it's coming from the machine, it should give me a little bit of feedback here. Am I getting notifications on my computer and it's sending the sound? I don't know. But we're gonna get distracted here. Let's focus, okay? Let's not get distracted, or we're gonna lose the signal and then we're gonna lose it again. Okay. So back, we just wasted, quite a bit of time here with nothing. I haven't told you anything yet. It's a Windows sound. Okay, so there's a sound coming from something on my computer that's going into the video. Okay. If you say there's a sound, I'm going to watch and see if there's any notification on Windows. At the moment, I don't see anything. Okay. The issue is that a antivirus actually exposes you to more danger. And before I tell you the details of this, I have to explain something called HTTPS. So I need to explain what HTTPS is and what this has to do with man-in-the-middle and a man-in-the-middle attack. And for those of you who don't know this, I have an app on the Google Play Store. It's called Catch the Man-in-the-Middle, Catch MITM, which you can download to test for man-in-the-middle on an Android. You can download that on the Google Play for free. If you have a iOS, that app is not available on iOS, but it is a button on Brax.me. So if you have the Brax.me app, it's on the settings. If you have Brax.me, go to settings, and there's a check for man-in-the-middle with Brax.me only. It's a limited man-in-the-middle. The full version is on Android, which you can check for man-in-the-middle with any website, and then you can use that to verify if somebody is sneaking in between you. Okay, now one of the things that I'm going to tell you right now, that if you are using AVG, which is our demo tonight, I'm going to demo AVG. Hello, Deanna. If you're using AVG, I will demo this tonight using AVG because I can download it for free on a Mac. And if you use AVG, then I can tell you right now that that app will give a reading of man-in-the-middle constantly, because there is a man-in-the-middle. AVG is the man-in-the-middle. AVG is the man-in-the-middle. So AVG is already giving you a man-in-the-middle. There could be other men in the middle, but that's it starts with AVG. So I'm going to show you why I am so concerned about antivirus, and I've mentioned different parts of the topic. So if you go to the replays from the last few days, I've been talking about different aspects of the antivirus, like the phishing attack, how a website hack cannot protect you even if you have an antivirus. You cannot be protected by an antivirus on many hacks. So for that reason, it's pretty much useless. So and I just demonstrated that yesterday. Today we're going to talk about something more specific, which is how an advanced feature of an antivirus is actually going to hurt you. And I'm going to start out with this antivirus called AVG. Okay. This is I'm showing you the window from AVG. That's from a Mac. That's AVG on a Mac. Okay, so that's the what you're seeing over there is AVG, which I installed on a Mac. Okay, for this demo. And what you're seeing there are the three different categories of things that the app, the AVG antivirus protects you from, supposedly. And this is very important to understand. This is very important to understand because, this is where the flaws come into your antivirus. So if you look at that chart over there, on the far left it says File Shield, then it's followed by something called Web Shield, then it's followed by something called Email Shield. Okay, so you see the different categories: File Shield, Web Shield, Email Shield. So all of the advanced antivirus have some sort of combination like this, and they may call it different terms. Like, well, one may be like something to protect you from phishing attacks. That would be the Web Shield equivalent. Okay, so it depends on the antivirus, but these are the three general categories that. What's the difference between RAM and ROM? Come on, Google. Google's your friend. Google's your friend. Okay, so File Shield, Web Shield, and Email Shield. That's the stuff that you will hear about tonight. Now, the original antivirus product, the ones that you've been using with, for decades, is called. Is the same as that thing called File Shield. Okay, file shield. That or actually, some are email shield. It depends. Okay, so the original product from the antivirus companies had to do with saving files. Okay, DuckDuckGo. Okay, I meant search. I meant do an internet search. Greek god. I'm not telling you what product to use to search. Use whatever you want. Okay. So, what we're going to talk about tonight, is a very specific aspect of antivirus, which is a danger point as far as I'm concerned. And what we're going to talk about is the one that's called Web Shield here. Here it says Web Shield, okay? That's what we're going to talk about tonight, very specifically. Okay, that has different names depending on the antivirus. So it usually has to do with phishing attacks. So if it says, hello, Quentin. So if it says something about protecting you from a phishing attack, that's equivalent of that thing that says Web Shield, okay? You are protected, it says cool. Okay, so you got that. Hello, Quentin. Watch on YouTube if you can, folks. Watch on YouTube if you can. Anyone on Twitch? Let me just check to make sure I didn't miss any people talking on Twitch here. So no, nobody new on Twitch. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure. I use Bytes VPN. You do? Okay, now, what is the problem with this Web Shield? First, I gotta introduce you to some concepts. This is a little bit of a complex topic here, guys. This is a bit of a complex topic, so bear with me here because I really have to explain this in detail. When you go to an HTTPS website, so you go to the web using a browser, Chrome, whatever, Firefox, Edge, Safari. When you go to a browser, the photo is obstructing the chat here. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't mean it to lay above the chat. Okay, hold on. I want to make sure that the chat is okay. I want to make sure the chat is over there. I don't want to miss anyone in chat. Okay. So when you do HTTPS on the internet, it's supposed to give you encryption between you. It's point-to-point encryption between your device and the website you're talking to. No one in between is supposed to be able to talk to you. No one in between is supposed to be able to talk to you when you have HTTPS. Right? And that's the premise here. So if you go to a bank, if you go to a bank and it's a connection on the web using HTTPS, in theory, no one should be able to see that traffic between your browser and the end site, which is the bank. Okay, obviously the bank can see it, you can see it, and somebody in the middle should not be able to see it. So there should be no man in the middle. The premise is, again, repeat this, the premise of HTTPS is the HTTPS, or the encryption in that HTTPS, is supposed to stop man in the middle from seeing. There could be a man in the middle anywhere. They won't say anything. The basic man in the middle in all transactions is your ISP. Your ISP is always the man in the middle. They can't help it. They give you the internet. They can see the traffic. They can see what you're doing on the internet. They can read your email. They can see your HTTP traffic. But when you go HTTPS, the encryption is turned on between point A, your point, to the target website. So, for example, you're using Periscope right now or YouTube, and you have an HTTPS connection. So there's an encryption between you and YouTube or Periscope or Twitch. You got that? Everyone got that point? Please speak up if you understand that. HTTPS gives you that encryption. Did anyone? I just want to make sure we're all together on that. There's not a single comment. Okay. Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure everyone understood that. Okay. Now, how does the encryption work? The encryption in HTTPS occurs with the use of certificates. Certificate. So in order for a website to encrypt itself, it has to buy a certificate or install a certificate that you negotiate with a certificate authority. So back in the old days, we used to get certificates from VeriSign. VeriSign was the first internet certificate company. VeriSign was then bought by Symantec. Okay, I always refer to VeriSign as the very true signing people. Okay, so VeriSign. So VeriSign no longer exists because Symantec is no longer in the certificate business. Okay, so anyway, so the idea was that back in the old days, you would sign up with VeriSign, pay them money for a certificate. Then they give you a certificate pair, a private key and a public key. And then you put your public key on your website. And then when somebody negotiates a transaction with your website, they go to the public key, make sure that you are, in fact, the stated domain that's shown on there, that you are www.google.com or www.periscope.tv or whatever you are, that you are, in fact, that. And that is verified through the certificate. The certificate then says, yep, your certificate is valid because the website indicated on the certificate matches you. And this is done. This is very important, guys. Listen to this point. I want you to make sure you understand this. This is, I'm trying to explain this concept for beginners here, but this is very, very important to understand. The trust is coordinated by the certificate authority. In this example, I told you that the certificate authority is VeriSign, and VeriSign, using various ways to verify the identity of the website, says, yep, that is the website in question, and we verify that, and you can trust us too because this is our root certificate that you can verify against. So everyone's certificate on the internet has to be matched to the root certificate of the company that is doing the verification. Okay, so again, to simplify this, every certificate of every website in the internet rolls up to a root certificate, meaning a root certificate authority that is the one doing the validation, and you have to pay this entity usually. And you pay this entity to say, yep, please validate our certificate. And they say, yes, we're going to validate you. And we're going to tell all of your viewers and all of your clients and all of the people that go to your website that you are, in fact, www.whateveryouare.com. Okay? Boycott box. Just be patient. That is, in fact, what we're going to talk about. Okay. Now, the whole point of the internet is based on trust of these certificate authorities. So basically, it's like a pyramid. The pyramid of trust is based on trusting the certificate authorities, right? In case you didn't know, Symantec was found to be misusing that trust. So Google banned Symantec from the Chrome browser. Google banned Symantec from the Chrome browser because they said, you are misusing our trust. You're creating fake certificates that you are improperly validating, meaning they were creating Google certificates that were not for Google, that were meant to be used by, for evil purposes. So Symantec said, no, we're not doing anything wrong. And Google said, Zuck, you are doing something wrong, so we're going to deny you access to Chrome. And then Safari said, oh, we're going to do that too. We're going to ban you from Safari. And then Firefox said, yep, we're going to also ban you. We're also going to looping. No, everything is, the broadcast is fine. It's running fine. There's no loop here. We're gonna ban you from Firefox and so on. So by doing that, the Symantec said, well, I guess no one's going to buy our certificate. So they sold the certificate business to DigiCert. Okay? No, come on, Kelp. You have to have Israelis prove certificate. Come on, Kelp. Okay, so anyway, it didn't drop from my end here. Everything is fine from, I don't see any indication of a drop here. Okay. Drop for a second. Okay. No indication right now. The bit rate's fine. Okay. So if the pyramid of trust is all rooted to the root certificate, the problem is, what if the root certificate cannot be trusted? And that happened with Symantec. If the root certificate cannot be trusted, then the whole shebang just fails, and everything that we base the trust on is false. Okay, I lost so many viewers from YouTube here. What happened? Okay, go back to YouTube, guys. I didn't do anything. Everything's running fine from my end here. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how this Web Shield works on AVG, because this has to do with root certificates. So again, the premise is, folks, that AVG, in this example in my antivirus here, AVG cannot read your HTTPS traffic. Again, the same logic. You can't read an HTTPS traffic because of the encryption with the certificate. Okay, the encryption was just based on a key created by that certificate, and it's only known between the website and the browser. So nobody in between can read your traffic. Your browser can read your traffic, but nobody else in between. And your antivirus is not owned by the browser, so they're not going to be able to read the traffic. Okay. Okay. Now, how does AVG then check your web traffic for phishing attacks if it's HTTPS? This is the problem faced by all of these antivirus companies. They said, well, in order for us to help you with HTTPS traffic, we have to be able to read your HTTPS traffic. That way we know if it's phishing. Okay, let me make sure you understand what that means. In order for AVG or Kaspersky or Norton Antivirus or McAfee to help you with phishing attacks, they're saying they need to read your HTTPS traffic. And if you don't understand what this means, I'm going to tell you very specifically. If you go to your bank and you're on an HTTPS connection, they will see your username and password to the bank because there's no longer any encryption. They will see in plain text your username and your password. That's what you're granting the antivirus. Secondly, if you go look at your bank balance and see if there's money in there, then that is also seen by the antivirus in theory if they're able to read that HTTPS traffic. That is exactly what that provides. Well, that's exactly what AVG does. In this example I will show you, AVG does in fact look at your traffic on HTTPS, and it does this using a fake root certificate. Okay, so I installed a fake AVG on my computer. Just to show you, I installed AVG on my computer. And it says, read that. If you can't read that, I'll read it to you. It says, I went to this website called Brax.me. Well, guess what, guys? Brax.me is my website. So I know what the certificate is. And look what it says in here. It says, Brax.me certificate is valid. It says it's valid. Okay? And it is issued by AVG Trusted CA. Okay? And there it is, common name, AVG Trusted CA, and it's issue name, country, Czechoslovakia. Zuck. Braxme is not in zucking Czechoslovakia. Okay? AVG Trusted CA. That, guys, is not my certificate. That's what AVG does. If you load AVG, it's going to load a fake zucking certificate. Listen, Reborn, you may have missed a lot of this, what I just said here. You may have to repeat this video. Okay? That's what AVG does. That's how it is able to read your what do you call this? That's how it's able to read your HTTPS traffic. They put a fake certificate. And now what happens is, since they own the certificate, yes, Jay, it is spoofed. Since they own, this is a very simple thing, and your employer does the same thing, okay? All that somebody has to do to be a man in the middle on your computer is to install a fake root certificate on your computer. That's it. If somebody installs a fake root certificate on your computer and I have the private key, I can spoof any website with that root certificate. I can spoof any website. Okay? That's all a hacker needs. It's like, oh, I can install a root certificate on your computer. I'm done. Well, AVG installed a root certificate on your computer and they happen to have the private key. So therefore, you're zucked. Okay? You are zucked. Now, just so if you don't understand the truth in what I'm saying here, I'm going to show you this now. Okay? This is, hold on. This is the real oops. Hold on. Where did I put that? Okay, that's the real certificate. Okay, that's the real certificate, right? You're seeing the certificate before AVG got a hold of it. Okay, that's the real certificate. Right there is a real certificate as it was before I installed AVG. So AVG says, I'm going to have to cheat the system in order for us to read the traffic. And the way we're going to do that is install a fake root certificate. And now this is a real certificate issued by the root CA here. It's called Let's Encrypt. That is my real certificate authority. My real certificate authority is called Let's Encrypt. And you can see it there. That is the correct one. That is the actual certificate authority I used. I did not use something called AVG. So look at this one that says AVG on it. That is not the one. AVG is not, so if you compare these two certificates here, one says AVG on it and the other one says Let's Encrypt. Well, I can tell you right now, the AVG one is fake. Okay, the AVG one is fake. So this one is the fake one. Okay, so again, what is the effect of putting a fake root certificate on your computer? The effect, guys, if a fake certificate gets on your computer, a fake root certificate, then whoever is in control of that fake root certificate with a private key can now see all of your traffic that traverses through your computer without restriction with HTTPS. Now, to make this very, very clear, to you, this is the same technique used by your zucking employer. Oh my gosh, Kelp. It's real because I went to the certificate authority. I am the owner of the website. I'm telling you what certificate authority I used. And I didn't go to Czechoslovakia, Kelp. I'm telling you what I used. I am the actual owner of the website. I'm telling you that that it's a fake certificate. It's fake. My goodness. Say, how do you know it's fake? It's like, oh my gosh. Well, Kelp, the certificate is correct. When you uninstall AVG and go to 5 different computers if you want and check what their certificate says on all of those different computers and different networks. That's how you know. Well, I can tell you how you really know, Kelp. Download my app from the Google Play Store called Catch, MITM, Catch Man in the Middle. Run it. And then you'll see if there's a man in the middle because it will tell you the real certificate. Okay? It will tell you the real certificate. So the fake AVG one could fool others maliciously. No, Jay, it's used supposedly only by AVG as long as the private key is only in the hands of AVG. Okay? Let's just theorize here. I'll give you a theory so you understand what this means. Let's theorize here. Okay? If AVG lent the private key to somebody else, let's say, okay, we're AVG and we'll hand you the private key, we'll hand our private key to the Russians. Okay? If that's the case, then the Russians can read all of your HTTPS traffic as long as you're using AVG. Do you understand the seriousness of what I'm saying here? Okay? Because they just install a root certificate on your computer. So if they have the private key, they can read anything that is based on that root certificate. So all the traffic traversing the internet will now be visible to somebody spying on you if they have the AVG private key. Okay? Now, AVG itself, since they can see all the traffic, this is really what you're saying. You're trusting AVG itself. You are trusting AVG to ignore everything they're seeing on screen. So AVG can see, if you go to the bank, they can see your login and password. They can see what the bank is saying on the system. AVG says, well, we're not doing anything with that. We're not sending it to our headquarters. We're not sending that data anywhere. That's just local. So you got to trust us. We are not doing anything with that data. Okay? That's what AVG will tell you, right? Well, guys, Kaspersky was found to be sending files back to Russia. This is not something they acknowledge this. If your computer finds malware, Kaspersky said the malware is sent back to Russia for them to analyze. How do you know what's being sent to the headquarters of the antivirus? How do you know? Especially if it's from some other country. How do you know? You don't know. The fact of the matter is, this simple technique will be able to capture all the traffic, and if they are somehow associated with some agency, then they have some special capability built in to every zucking computer that uses this particular antivirus or whatever antivirus. So it's the same with Kaspersky. If you load a Kaspersky antivirus on your computer, and somehow somebody made a deal with them to say, can you capture this kind of data from that computer because you have the fake certificate? Can you capture passwords and so on HTTPS and send it to us in our secret little system here? And we won't tell anyone, and as long as we pay you under the table. Will you do that? Are you going to know, people? No, you're not going to know. They can send that traffic encrypted. You'll never know. Do you understand what I'm saying here? So you're trusting a third party. You're trusting a third party. Hold on. Did I lose the connection here on YouTube? Okay, no. Okay. So you're trusting a third party to see some of your secrets. Okay, this has nothing to do with the Clinton hack whatsoever. If you're talking about Clinton hack, DNC, this has nothing to do with that. Okay, this is a very specific thing. The U.S. government banned the use of Kaspersky in U.S. government facilities for this reason. This has nothing to do with the DNC hack, WikiLeaks, none of that. This is something they admit to doing. They actually did do this. Okay, since started listening to you over 2 years ago, I have learned to trust nobody. Okay, good. Okay, you can trust me though, because that's what I teach you. You have to trust somebody, and somebody has to be the leaker of information. That's me. I'm leaking information to you. You lost Twitch? Why did you lose Twitch? Twitch is no longer broadcasting? Really? Wow. Okay. Well, I can't do anything about that now. No, Kelp, don't trust me. No, Kelp. Kelp trusts the CIA and the NSA. So, Kelp, do not trust me. Why don't you trust the deep state? Okay, Kelp? No, Kelp, I'm not telling you to trust me. Don't trust me, because you trust the deep state. So go trust the deep state. Okay? Okay? You can go trust them. I'm just telling you. You don't have to trust me either. I'm just telling you the facts, and you go research it for yourself. And if you feel that I'm lying to you, then come back and tell me. Okay? Come back and tell me if I'm lying. Don't trust. They keep 3 million safe. They also keep millions unsafe. Okay? They keep millions safe. Sometimes they keep them safe. Sometimes they say, well, we're going to keep you safe, but we want something in our pockets for that. And Kelp says, oh, that's okay. You're keeping us safe, so keep it in your pocket. Does McAfee do fake root? Yes, they all do. All of the advanced antivirus companies do. McAfee, Norton Antivirus, Kaspersky, AVG, and whatever. All of them do it. Okay? The very basic one sold by, given to you by Microsoft, Windows Defender, does not. Windows Defender has only, if you look at my little chart here, Windows Defender is only giving you File Shield. Windows Defender is limited to File Shield. Okay, which is not much. That's the original antivirus program from the 90s. Those are all file shields. Okay, so what they do is they every time you hit save on a file, they go check the file before it saves. Okay, so that's so a Windows Defender only does this. If you're going to use AVG at all, for those of you on Windows 7 or the ones that do not have access to Windows Defender, and you want to use something like AVG or anything else, this is the only portion of it that you want to use is the one that relates to File Shield. Okay, File Shield. And that will not stop you from getting hacked. It just stops the common viruses that are already out there. Okay, it all it does is stop the spread of common viruses. Nothing, Mr. Compton, nothing. You use nothing for a Mac. Do not use AVG for a Mac. Do not use anything for a Mac. Nothing. Do not use anything for Android. Do not use anything for iOS. Do not use anything for Linux. Okay, on Windows, use only Windows Defender, or if you're on something that doesn't have Windows Defender, use something like this that only has the File Shield activated. This is AVG, and make sure to turn off Web Shield and Email Shield. Okay, you don't want those because they have exposure, just like I'm talking about here. Now this gets worse. Windows Defender. Okay. This gets worse, guys. So now let me bring back this little chart that I'm showing you, which is AVG doing the fake certificate. Okay. So you now see that AVG is intercepting whatever certificate that it's supposed to see and overlaying it with its own certificate, which is the AVG. Now, this is something that's easily verified if you work for some corporation. Let's say you work for a corporation and you're in their office and you want to make sure that there's no man in the middle. There is a man in the middle in every big corporation. The corporation is the man in the middle. The corporation reads your HTTPS traffic. So if you work at a big company, the big company is going to use systems like Blue Coat systems and other software and hardware that will intercept your HTTPS traffic. So you can't go on Facebook in your office and expect that your traffic will be private. If you go to your office computer and go to your bank, they can see your bank login ID, your bank password. They can see your bank balance. They can see if you're transferring money. They can see all of that using the fake certificate issued by your employer. This is what happens to your employers, okay? This is actually a chain reaction of events here. Your employer will install a fake root certificate on your computer, which in theory they own because it's a business computer. If they don't own the computer and you designated your computer for business use, they're going to give you some software to say, log into our VPN, and they're going to give you something to install, and that software will then install a fake root certificate somewhere along the chain in there. Okay? Somewhere along the chain. So a lot of times if you're remote, they will give you remote access desktop, RDP connection to your corporate system. The RDP connection will be passing through a fake root certificate so that anything you do on that fake root certificate will be logged and they will have a record of it. Okay? Normally, if you do not have an antivirus like this, like AVG in this example here, normally if you do not have an antivirus like this, you will see what fake root certificate they put in there. You will see what fake root certificate they put in. However, since you're on an antivirus like this, the antivirus covers it up. The antivirus puts, as you can see here, it says that the certificate is a root certificate issued by AVG Trusted CA. So there's like 2 fake root certificates, 2 in a row. Because the antivirus puts in a fake root certificate, you're never going to know that somebody else has a fake root certificate, which normally gives an alarm on your browser. If there's a fake certificate along the line, normally your browser will say, "Zucked up." Normally your browser will give an alarm that says, "Fake certificate, fail, fail, fail." Fake certificate. What happens now is it doesn't have the ability to do that because AVG just put in a valid certificate on here as it appears to your browser. To your browser says, "Oh, it's a valid certificate, so we're not going to put out an alarm." So if a hacker knows that you're all running an antivirus, there's now a chance that you are not going to see the Chrome warning of a fake certificate. Because Chrome will say, "Oh, the certificate is for www.bytesvpn.com, but yet the certificate is for hacker.com. Chrome will give you a warning. But because AVG put in their own root certificate over there, then it's going to look cool. Your browser's going to say, "Happy times, you're encrypted. Only AVG can see your traffic. Be happy." Okay, I'm not picking on AVG here because this really applies to all antivirus that use phishing software and any kind of web scanning, which is pretty much all of them. Okay? The only ones that don't do it are all the cheapy ones and the free ones. And the free ones are Windows Defender. So Windows Defender is perfect because their free one does the basic thing that an antivirus should do, nothing else. So it doesn't open up a hole for hackers to use, or in this case, a hacker can. This can be used to hide hacker activities. So there's a danger again of what happens if you don't understand. People, hold on, let me change screen here. So people here on the internet, a lot of you, yes, I boycott box. I've already been very, very specific. So let me repeat that again. So I'm telling you what OS are you using? Boycott box. I thought I said that already very specifically. What OS are you using? Boycott box. It's good. The Windows Defender doesn't lull us into false sense of security. What boycott box? What OS are you on so that I can give you a specific answer? Otherwise, I have to repeat my answer again. Okay, here's a specific answer. If you're on Windows 10, use only Windows Defender. Windows what? If you're on Windows 10, use only Windows Defender. It's free. It's included with Windows 10. Just turn it on. If you're not on Windows 10, if you're on some older version of Windows, then you don't have access to Windows Defender. Then you have to use something like an AVG or whatever. If you do, use only the ones that have file shield, file defense, okay? That's the only one that you need to use. Everything else, turn it off, okay? Kelp, who cares if they give you an antivirus? Don't fucking use it. You buy a computer from the store, they give you a fucking 1-year subscription to McAfee or whatever. If you go to Best Buy, they used to give you Kaspersky. Nothing. Take it off. I thought Windows 7 did not have Defender. So now you're saying Windows 7 now has Windows Defender? I didn't know that. Okay, so Windows Defender was included with Windows 10. So if you have Windows Defender, that's all you need to use. That's it. No, Tahila, no. The antivirus that will save you is in your head. This is the antivirus, which is my scope from the last 2 days. This is the antivirus. The antivirus is not going to protect you. This is the antivirus. Your brain. I'm pointing to your brain, not my hair. Okay? Okay? If you understand what an antivirus, what a virus or malware is trying to do, then you can knock it off with no problem. I explained that in 2 scopes already, yesterday and the day before. Okay? And I told you about how you defend yourself with various means and use the brain. Okay? Kelp, no, that's not enough. What I told you was even more basic than that, okay? The basic way that you are hacked is some of it is quite complex. Most of it is from a click on an email. So if you do not click on an email that you did not initiate, then you're not going to get a virus. You have to initiate it. So if you change your password, expect an email saying you changed your password. Okay. If you buy something from Amazon, expect an email saying that you bought something. If Amazon says to you, there's something wrong with your account, click here. My answer is, don't fucking click that. Go to the Amazon website and figure out what the problem is, if there is one. Otherwise, then it must be false. If the bank sends you a message that says, we have a problem, there's an overdraft, I am not going to click on that email. I'm going to go directly to the bank website and go see what's going on there. I am not going to touch the email. If a credit card company says your balance, you have a outstanding balance, and this actually happened to me. I got that and I said, what the zuck are you talking about? I don't even use that credit card. Okay? Yes, Jay. Yes. So I said, what the zuck is that thing, about having an unpaid balance? I don't even use that credit card. Oh, it's the annual fee. Yeah, okay. Annual fee, but and I didn't pay an annual fee, but you did send us a bill, and I don't even use that credit card. And they said, oh, we changed the account number. It used to be this account number. Okay. Now, I found that out by calling the credit card company. I did not find that out by clicking on the sucking email, because that to me is a trigger. They changed the account number, so the account number doesn't match. So that is already